Ladies and gentlemen, the beef is finally cooked. Let's talk about it.
It's Block Lounge Entertainment, and the time is right with T-Pre.
I am so excited to finally have this video, okay? Because I absolutely love both of these content creators, okay? These young bloods are doing the most out here. They're doing the best out here, and I'm so supportive of both of them. Finally, they have finally decided to drop the beef. I'm so proud of them for this. I don't even know like how to take it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been so long. It's been going on for so long. Shout out to Stargate. You know, me and Stargate don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but this right here, I have to hand her, you know. But I'm going to really hand it to Shakim and to Flakko because they are the men that decided to finally step up and say, you know, enough is enough. We're going to go ahead, put the beef to the side. We're going to go ahead and let things rock out. And I really appreciate my young bloods for that. I got to give y'all props, okay? Because I don't know. I mean, a lot of times I would just not tune in. Like one time, you know, there was many times where, you know, Flacco, he doesn't talk about you so much on his channel, but you know, he might have went other places and said things. And there was times I just would tune out. You know what I mean? Just because of that. Or you would, you know, Shakim would be talking about it. And, you know, I would just tune out at that moment. You know, I might come back if you're talking about Rev G or something, but for the Flacco stuff, I tuned out, you know, because I really felt like at one point y'all were friends, like you said, and you know this was easy to make up. This was, you know, easy to get over. So thank goodness y'all are finally there, and now you guys can soar to where you need to be. Okay, watch how much weight has come off of you now, and how far you guys will go. It's not that you guys weren't going far anyway, but when you release the abuse, when you release the negative energy in life, your life just goes in directions that you had no idea you could go. And you guys are young, you guys are flourishing, and I'm so proud of y'all. I feel like y'all like my little brothers or like my sons or something. So many of us young older people in the sector have attempted to get you guys to work this out months ago, and it was just to no avail. All of us, you know, we were kind of met with you know, both different you know, different messages from both of y'all. But at the end of the day, you guys, it took you guys to work it out, and I really appreciate y'all for doing that, and that y'all did that in front of the sector. You know, and that the sector can just move on. I think the sector has kind of moved on anyway, but you guys are now able to move on from it. So thank goodness for that. I just wanted to mention that real quick and give you guys y'all flowers and y'all props for that. So again, shout out to Shakim Ra and shout out to Poetic Flacco. Make sure you guys go like, subscribe to both of their channels. Make sure that you are hitting the notification button so that you know every time they go live. Both of them channels are growing tremendously. They're both doing great. I think they both do celebrity gossip and do some other things. So just, you know, go ahead and check them both out. For those of you who don't know who they are, but for those in the sector that I'm in, y'all know exactly who these guys are, and we are so all proud of them because they are doing so much better with all the beef. You know what I'm saying? That's just finally done. It's finally cooked. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and eat that shit and get rid of it. We ain't trying to go back and recook. We ain't trying to reheat it. We ain't, none of that. None of that. No microwave beef. None of that. Okay. Gotta let that go. So I'm so proud of y'all for doing that. Shout out to y'all. Let's get into a little Swift Code 102. I gave you guys Swift Code 101 the other day. Let me give you really quickly something about Swift Codes again. So I told you guys that with Swift Codes, that they work with banks who are Western banks, like European banks, American banks, and Canadian banks. Okay. And there's some other banks within territories of these countries that also operate on Swift code. There's other countries too, but a lot of other countries do not operate on the same Swift code system. They operate on a totally different system. Okay. So there's BIC codes, there's Swift codes, and there's a couple other things. But ultimately speaking, Swift codes is what allows you to do international transactions, international wires from business, also just wiring from to somebody. Like if you wanted to wire money to somebody over in France or Germany or something like that, you can use a Swift code from their bank and you send it over there that way, along with their routing number and all that stuff. Ultimately, what I was trying to explain the other day is that Swift codes are only used in certain countries. So every country was not willing to take Russia off of the Swift code list, and to block their banks from sending money. The United States has made the decision to do that, but other countries have not, but most have at this point, okay, because of how the war is going over there in Ukraine and Russia. But however, other countries are like, listen, we can't only do but so much with this Swift code situation, because if we do allow, because keep in mind, like I said, if it would make sense if every single bank in the world operated on this code system, but every bank in the world does not. Okay, so therefore, the countries that are operating on the Swift code system would end up plunging their countries into a recession at some point if they start dropping off people, that they're operating with according to the banks. And the reason why is because all of the bank systems actually they need each other. Okay, it's kind of like if you think about it in the sense of like in America, how the electric grids go. Okay, so everybody saw how in Texas a couple years ago, or about a year ago or so, how when all the snow and ice came down there and they were out of power for several days. And the reason why is because Texas is on its own electric grid. There's no other grids that they can pull from. Okay, so when their power went out, other grids in other parts of the country, there's one in the Northeast, there's one in the West, there's one in the mid section of the country, and then there's Texas. Okay, so Texas wasn't connected to any other, grids. So that's the reason why they plunged into that problem. Okay, so if they were able to connect to other electric grids, they would have been able to pull electric into their region and be able to still, maintain power in the region, and it wouldn't have been as catastrophic as it was. It's kind of the same thing with the economy. Okay, so if the banks start shutting off other banks in other countries from doing trades and international trades and international wires, this is going to cause a major problem for big businesses. Okay, because no matter what you think is going on behind the scenes, big businesses are working with other countries. Okay, they are putting money into stock markets in other countries and so forth. And so if they start cutting off Russia and then, who also operates on another banking system with other countries that operate on those systems, such as China and stuff like China does not operate on the Swift code system. Okay, so if they started cutting off this stuff from their economy, it's going to plunge their country into a recession. Okay, and none of the big countries want that. So ultimately, now they're talking, and they've got this speech on the table. They're like, I don't know if we should really just cut off Russia from the Swift code system. I don't know if we should do that. A lot of them are thinking that, and they would be absolutely right. It would be catastrophic if they continued to cut Russia off from the Swift code system. So yes, they can do it. It can be, a bit of a strain, but they would ultimately put a strain on their own economies as well. So I don't know if they want to do that. And that's, like I said, a little Swift code 102 for you guys. All right, guys, I am going to get out of here. I do got some shopping I got to go do today. I'm off today. So I'm finally going to go and take care of some business. It is March the 1st. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And again, shout out to Flakko and shout out to Shakim. Really appreciate you guys for doing what y'all do. And let me check out the comments. I see a couple comments here. Hey, Sparkle, what's up? Do that, Wilt. I got to check out your video. I just subscribed to your channel too. You said the beef was charred. Yes, it was. It was definitely charred, overcooked, rubbery, microwaved, like done. Okay, so thank goodness that's over with because I really do appreciate both of these brothers. And I appreciate all of you for who will tune in and catch the replay and all of you who are in the clouds. All right, I will talk to you guys later. And peace. Thank you guys for watching.